Good afternoon. My name is Sydney, and I am joined by my team, Marcus, Julia, and Haley. We have found 5 funding opportunities for DIF Charitable Eyewear, which we would like to share with you today. To understand our recommendations, we will begin by explaining our process for identifying suitable funding partners. We used Impact Assets 50 Review Committee to narrow down our search. This website showcases firms, top entrepreneurs, and fund managers, and it is focused on empowering access to impact investing. So looking at the website, there are a variety of diverse organizations that can be categorized by their sectors, geographies, and asset classes. We began selecting criteria that would be appropriate for funding partners for DIF. Our first criteria is asset class, which we chose private debt and private equity. Our second criteria being investment focus, which we chose to focus on education and charter schools, global health, and nutrition, health, and wellness. By narrowing down the firms, we came to a list of 18 firms focused on charter schools and education, and then 12 firms focused on global health, leaving us with 30 firms total. After this, we began our communication with the impact firms, which Haley will discuss in further detail.
During our research, we were able to get in touch with multiple firms in order to circulate a conversation around impacting investing for DIF eyewear. We heard back from the Padamar Fund, Mission Driven Finance, Low Income Investment Fund, and Leapfrog Investments. All of these stated that many impact investors are sector-focused and invest in companies that have the capacity to repay their loans and communicate impact through evidence-based outcomes. Additionally, I scheduled a call from Emma Sisman of SJF Ventures. SJF invests in B2B companies specifically within the software technology industry. Therefore, DIF would not fit within their criteria of investing, but she provided us with insights that paved the way for our funding plan for DIF. Emma said that SJF performs a financial analysis for companies that focuses heavily on maximizing above-market returns with impact investors. They look for companies that have the potential to grow capital from, say, $2 million to $10 million. Likewise, SJF built out internal frameworks to perform an extensive impact analysis the same way as the financial analysis. Emma said that they use the Impact Management Project, which is a forum for building a global consensus on how to measure, manage, and report impact. They use the 5 dimensions of impact that helps SJF to understand the effects on people and the planet. SJF looks at how players and beneficiaries involved are treated, such as employees and stakeholders. They also look at the job opportunities available and how the product gets from point A to point B. Moreover, they are sector-focused and invest in companies that they have expertise in order to add value, which typically does not include consumer products such as DIF. Finally, SJF looks to see whether or not the company is able to communicate and measure impact rather than just saying that they do.
We've acquired a few insights from communicating with these companies. Firstly, these funding companies are not only looking at the financial return, but they're looking at the social initiatives. We want DIF to be backed by a firm who sees the value in both of these things equally. These firms are also looking for products that they believe in and that are providing obvious social value. We definitely are looking for a firm whose primary goal is within corporate responsibility. Also, the actual business model is invaluable, and they need to understand that before they decide to back them. A lot of the impact investing firms we have investigated do have a relatively low asset under management, and because of that, they're looking for a clear, concise, and scalable ROI. And finally, we discovered that most of the impact investors tend to categorize themselves under one roof when it comes to their sector or focus of the types of companies that they back. And with DIF, we have the opportunity to utilize different assets within their social initiatives, which can lead us to more options in deciding on the right firm. For example, if we decide to focus just on the healthcare sector of Project DIF, it would lead us to more niche firms rather than approaching the project as more community, education, and healthcare aspects.
The next phase of our process focused on taking the insights we acquired through communicating with impact investing firms and translating those into an idea of what DIF's ideal funding partner would look like. First of all, it is important that DIF Eyewear targets investing firms with less strict standards of impact measurement. Rather than discounting DIF's limited buy a pair, give a pair impact model, DIF's funding partners should recognize the opportunity to further develop and integrate more sustainable, community-based initiatives through Project DIF. Although DIF is seeking investment for Project DIF, a subsection of DIF focusing on global initiatives specifically, DIF as a whole is not seed or early stage. Therefore, DIF should target larger firms capable of absorbing a further along valuation. Lastly, it is important for DIF to provide value in cross-asset class opportunities within its funding partners' portfolio. Global health and education should undoubtedly be a common impact theme. Our final step involved identifying 5 potential funding partners for DIF eyewear's expansion of Project DIF. The first investment firm we recommend for Project DIF is Bain Capital's Double Impact Fund. Rather than being a standalone impact investing firm, Bain Capital Double Impact is a piggyback fund of Bain Capital, focusing on a double bottom line of both financial returns and social impact. We think that Bain Capital Double Impact is a strong fit for several reasons. Because of its association with Bain Capital Double Impact benefits from a network of $105 billion worth of assets under management. Additionally, DIF's impact themes clearly align with those of Bain Capital Double Impact. Most striking is Bain Capital Double Impact's association with TOMS Shoes. Bain Capital recently acquired 50% ownership of TOMS in order to increase the company's social initiatives through global, community-based solutions. The paralleling buy a pair, give a pair model of TOMS and DIF Eyewear suggests an opportunity for Bain Capital to similarly expand DIF's outreach.
Our second funding recommendation for DIF is DBL Partners. DBL believes that healthy financial performance and positive social change are inherently connected, and they do this by focusing on the double bottom line, venture capital. DBL invests in companies that can actually deliver top-tier venture capital returns and those that enable social, environmental, and economic benefits. They have specialized sectors, one of them being sustainably oriented products and services. Therefore, they have expertise investing in consumer products. Finally, DBL invests in companies that are global in scope and international leaders in their fields. They invest in companies that can deliver tangible benefits to the community, such as job creation in low-income neighborhoods and corporate community engagement, making DIF a great partner for them.
Moving on to our third recommendation, we recommend Adjuvant Capital as another potential organization. Adjuvant's mission is focused on investing in public health technologies and providing access to these for those who need them most. We recommend this organization based on their criteria for selection and how it fits with DIF's projects. Looking closer at Adjuvant, their investment activity is focused on technologies which provide safety and efficacy for people around the world. This is similar to DIF's mission to provide vision for people around the world. They also pursue investments that provide social impact for low and middle-income countries. Adjuvant was created by Global Health Investment Fund, which aims to address high-burden public health challenges. Lastly, their investment decisions are based on proof-of-concept data, which DIF will be able to provide with their progress thus far. Adjuvant is another great company whose mission and values align with those of DIF.
Another recommendation is the RISE Fund. Similar to the previous suggested funding partners, the RISE Fund manages a high value of assets committed to both business performance and strong returns. Why we recommend the RISE Fund is more attributed to its strategy for enabling expansion. The RISE Fund's portfolio offers tremendous cross-asset class opportunities, leveraging its network of mission-driven companies to accelerate growth. The companies all operate within specific sectors, focused on solving prominent worldwide social issues. What separates the RISE Fund as an attractive funding partner is their strategic process for assessing, measuring, and delivering social returns. Project DIF hopes to heighten DIF's social value beyond its buy a pair, give a pair model. The RISE Fund's streamlined process would provide huge value throughout the expansion of Project DIF's global initiatives.
Finally, we want to recommend Capria Ventures as our fifth option for the following reasons. Of the impact investing firms focused in education and community building, Capria is one of the biggest. I was researching a lot of impact firms that were more boutique in size with a smaller portfolio and AUM, but Capria has one of the largest network fund managers, and they have network opportunity of 16 member firms investing in 37 plus countries in Africa and the Middle East. They're really looking for already successful early growth investment opportunities, and they have efficient systems and their system-driven investment processes. Capria and its global network deliver profits with scaled impact aligned with the UN's Sustainable Development Goals, and we feel this is a solid match that could benefit DIF's social alignment and goals of creating connected communities, localized economies, and emphasizing local impact presence, and Capria's emphasis on innovation and diversity runs parallel with this. We also already have strong investor presence in Africa, and so does Capria, and we believe that they can work with DIF to expand their own portfolio through direct and co-investment opportunities.